What a game. What a game. What a game, man. What a game. Alright, everybody. Welcome back to another stream. Okay. So we're gonna kind of break down the Wolves versus Arsenal game that happened earlier today here in the States. First of all, that was a terrible game. All right, that was a horrible game to watch. I honestly don't know how he came with the win there, but that was, my gosh, that was horrendous. That was just bad. Let's see here. Yeah, that was a terrible game, folks. That was a really bad game. And the fact that we were able to scrap a win from that game is a bit surprising, but we'll take it. But I cannot lie and say that looks like a Premier League winning team, because that was not a Premier League winning team. That was like a top 4 battle team, you know. But look, I think the positive that you can take from this is the fact that Wolves are a tough team, right? They're going to be a tough team to beat, in the sense that they're really not gonna come at you, right? They're gonna sit back. They're gonna play hard defense, right? They know we're a better team than them, so they know that, hey, let's not try to get pummeled by these lot. Let's try our best to kind of like low block, frustrate them, maybe hit them on the counter with a lucky break, whatever. That you can kind of see that was kind of their game plan, and for the most part, it almost worked, right? I think it took us the 70th minute to score our first goal. Or, well, I guess we didn't even score the goal. They scored the goal. It was an own goal that the keeper knocked into the box from a Saka corner kick. So, if you're looking at it from a Wolves perspective, their game plan was to frustrate Arsenal, to sit back, play good defense, and hope to either come away with a draw or a lucky goal that they score. And it almost worked, right? It almost worked. It almost worked. You know, that's all I can say. It almost worked. Let's see here. Let's see. Team looked tired. We will not win the league playing like this. I don't think so, bro. Like, I'm trying to be optimistic, but that, I mean, Manchester. If you watch the Wolves versus Manchester United game, right? Yes, they scored in the first half to make it 1-1. But They were absolutely terrible, and that goal that they scored was from Manchester United also being terrible. And then Manchester United in the second half just blitzed them. They won 4-1, and they scored all their goals. We didn't score a single goal this game, by the way. We didn't score a single goal. All the goals that we scored was from an own goal. 2 of them. Both created by Saka, right? And we're going to talk a little bit later about Saka. Because I think this was one of Saka's best games of the season. And it sucks that he didn't get a goal or an assist from this game. But you can easily say that those 2 own goals should have counted as a GA for Saka. I'm going to count them as a GA for Saka. That's how good he was. And that's how he was. We're going to get into it later on. I'm a little fired up right now because I truly am scared. I'm a little bit scared. And I'll tell you why I'm a little bit scared. I'm scared not because of the fact that it's Wolves and we should have pummeled them. I'm scared because we play down to the opposition's level. We are supposed to be title content. We're supposed to win the title, right? Everybody is going, oh, Arsenal. Arsenal will win the title. Arsenal will win the title. Arsenal will win the title. And I still believe we will win the title. Okay? I know I've been a little bit iffy, and like after the Villa game, I felt like we were going to lose it. But deep down in my heart, I want us to win the title, and I'm hoping that we can win the title. But the problem that I have is that you look at title-winning teams. I'm talking about Liverpool. I'm talking about Man City. I'm even talking about Chelsea. Like what, 9 years ago? 8 years ago? They don't bring themselves down to the opposition level. They blitz them. Oh, okay. You're gonna sit back. You're gonna low block. Guess what? We'll just fire 1,000 shots from outside the box, and your keeper better be having a good game, or we're gonna blitz you 10-0. Guys, we had 5 shots on target. 5 shots on target. Now, 5 shots on target. We had okay. Let's see. Let's take a look at the game. So according to Google, I've seen some other sources, but according to Google, we had 17 shots and 5 shots on target. I watched the game. I watched the game at my local bar here in the States, right? There's an Arsenal bar that I go to watch most of the games. I did not see 17 shots and 5 shots on target. Maybe some of those shots, I don't know. I did not see this. And obviously it happened, they're official stats. But like when you're watching a game, you didn't feel like Arsenal was having 5 shots on target. It felt like we had 2 shots on target. Maybe 3. But it's not even the issue that we had 5 shots on target. It's the fact that were they actually good shots on target that the keeper had to save? I don't know. Maybe. But I just didn't see it. I didn't see this. I know it looks like a huge disparity, but at halftime, I literally turned to my girlfriend was there. I could hear other people in the bar. People were saying, "Man, Wolves, they've had more shots on us. They look more threatening." I remember thinking, "Oh my gosh, this is the worst team in the league, and they look like they're threatening more than us." Huge issue, guys. Huge issue. Before I go into player ratings and whatever, right? There's a few things I want to talk about. Number 1. Why do we sit back so much? I understand Mikel Arteta. I understand Arsenal, that you want to be a defensively solid team. Let me break this down for you. We are playing Wolves at home. Not away. We're playing Wolves at home. We're playing Wolves at home. Why are we sitting back? You score one goal, score another goal. Score two more. It's Wolves. They're dreadful. They're bad. They're the worst team in the Premier League. They honestly could end up finishing the season as the worst team in the Premier League ever. Why is it that we score a goal and we're sitting back? Why? Keep going, keep going, keep going. Score more goals against them. They're terrible. Put the pressure on them. Instead, we're sitting back after we scored a goal, and Wolves are the ones on the attack against us. Wolves at home. How is this allowed to happen? We're number one in the league. We're supposed to have the best attack, the best defense. Yeah, I'm seeing us low block against Wolves. And not only do we low block against Wolves, we concede. It's the same thing with Sunderland. Okay? If we low block and we end up winning the game, I'm like, whatever. We shouldn't be low blocking against Wolves. But we concede still while low blocking against these teams. So what's the point? If we go for it and they score against us, I'll be like, fine. We were still going for it. We're still trying. They caught us in the counter. They caught us against a run of play. No, we were low blocking against Wolves, and they still scored a goal against us. Really? Really? It's Wolves. Why are we low blocking against Wolves and still conceding? With Saliba's back, Hincapié is there. That's a solid back two. Timber is there. Lewis Skelly is there. That's almost our starting defense. Oh, excuse me. Bad allergies. Guys, it's Wolves. Yeah, this is... It was a bit of a disgrace. That's all I gotta say. It's a bit of a disgrace. The fact that at home to the worst team in the league. Now, I understand that sometimes when you're the top of the league and you're playing the worst team in the league, it can get tricky. I understand that. But there's a few things. Number one, we did not score a single goal at home to Wolves. Wolf players put the ball in their own net. Their own net. Wolves. They scored the goals against themselves. If their players were on it, we could have lost 1-0, 2-0 even. That's scary, guys. But, and then the second thing is the fact that it just doesn't feel like we are creating chances. That's why when I look at this and I see 17 shots and 5 shots on target, it doesn't feel like it. Why doesn't it feel like it? Because we're not playing fluid football. It's ugly. Now, I don't mind an ugly style of football here and there. But we should not be playing that kind of football against the worst team in the league. We should, come on, bro. Really? I can understand if it's ugly football against Sunderland, Newcastle, Chelsea, Man City, Crystal Palace. Those are top teams. You know, you're just trying to get out of there with a win, possibly a draw. But against Wolves, that's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. You have to free up the offense at times. You got to tell players, go out there, express yourself. You have to. You gotta. We will not win the league playing like this. Look, I still hope we win the league. There's a part of me that says, this ain't it. This ain't it. This is not going to win the league. You can't ugly your way to a league title. This is the Premier League. This is the best league in the world. This is not League One, Bundesliga, right? Hell, this is not even La Liga, where sometimes you could be Atletico Madrid and you could just win 1-0 or play haram football and win the league. This is the Premier League. When teams win this league, it's because they're pretty darn good. Hell, even when Leicester won the league, Leicester City won the league in 2015, 2016, they had the PFA Player of the Year. They have the PFA Player of the Year playing his heart out. Jamie Vardy scoring goals. Mahrez, PFA Player of the Year. Tell me right now who's a PFA Player of the Year candidate on this squad. The closest one might be Saka. And even he's not having the best years that he's had previously. Gyökeres, I'm slowly giving up on Gyökeres. It's Wolves. You've played against Club Brugge and Wolves and you've not scored. Are you going to score against Everton? I don't know. People say, oh, we're not creating for Gyökeres. Bro, you got to sometimes create for yourself. They pass you the ball, dribble around one defender, shoot it. Oh, you can't do that. Well, that's an issue. Because it's the Premier League. You got to have some sort of skills. You can't just physically bully the center backs. You can't do that all the time. Who on this Arsenal team is PFA Player of the Year worthy? Who on this Arsenal team can you say was that guy? Maybe Saka, because he has good games here and there, but even he's not consistent. Who's our Mo Salah? Who's our Phil Foden? Who's our Erling Haaland? Who's our Kevin De Bruyne? Who's our Mahrez? Our Conte? I mean, I'm going down like PFA Player of the Years, like those kind of players. We don't have that kind of player on our squad because we're playing and winning ugly. Like, truly, it's getting bad. It's almost halfway through the season. It is almost halfway through the season. What was that? Was that game week 16, I think? Yeah. Okay, so this is game week 16. So what? Yeah, 3 more games, and it'll be halfway through the season. 3 more games. And I cannot tell you right now who on this Arsenal team would get in a Premier League best 11. I mean, the closest one would probably be Declan Rice or maybe Bukayo Saka. You know? But our issue is that our attackers are not playing fluid football. You cannot, as an Arsenal fan, sit there and be like, yes, this is the best team in the league. We have the best defense in the league. Yes, we do. But we do not have the best team in the league. Because our offense is on par, in my opinion, with mid-table teams. Let's look at the table right now. This is the Premier League table. I'm going to go down this table and see whose offense do I think can be comparable to our offense or better. Man City, their offense is better than ours. Aston Villa, it's up there. I'll take Aston Villa's offense over ours. It feels like they create more chances. You look at the likes of Rodgers and Tielemans. Those two midfields, they run us out of the park. Chelsea, better offense than ours. Crystal Palace, okay. You know, Mateta's injured, whatever, but I'm pretty sure Mateta scored more goals than Gyökeres this season. Liverpool, yeah, they've had off games, but I think their offense is still better than ours. It's their defense that's the problem. Man United, their offense, I would say, is comparable to ours. The only player that is better on our offense than Man United's offense is Saka. I don't know if Gyökeres starts for Man United. Does Martinelli start for Man United? Saka starts for Man United easily. Yeah, he is. But that's it. Maybe Madueke. Maybe. But he's a bench player and he doesn't even play every game. Like our offense is looking right here. We've got such bad offense. And it's not even like we have bad players. It's just the way our offense runs. It's so rigid. It's like Gyökeres on the ball. That's our offense. It's not fluid, right? You look at the likes of Ekitike. The way he just is fluid. The way he plays is just fluid. Our offense is a Gyökeres. It's so rigid. It's just not free-flowing. I don't know, man. Look, we are very lucky that we won that game today. Because if we had not won that game, we would have been I think we would have been 3 points clear of Man City. If Man City had won their game and had a better goal difference, we're back to second place. Again. Really? We're back to the same spot that we were in 24-25, in 23-24, and in 2022-2023. Second place. When the hell are we going to take that next step and get the top prize? Man City, they don't even look that good. They're still figuring it out. Their defense leaks goals. Yet somehow, they're right there behind us. Why? Because their offense is carrying them. Whereas for us, it's the opposite. It's our defense that carries us. And sure, your defense could keep clean sheets or keep the opponents from only scoring one goal. But it's the offense that has to score the goals. We gotta score goals. You gotta be beating Wolves by 3 or 4 goals, man. Minimum. I don't care. I would much rather have beaten Wolves 4-1, 5-1 than 2-1. Hell, I would rather beat Wolves 5-3 than that. Because 5-3, maybe Wolves got lucky. You know? Maybe a few of those were against the run of play. But we were just pummeling them. Than that. Because that does not look convincing. What we did almost cost us the game. We almost tied. We got to lock in. We have to lock in. Do we want to win this title? You got to lock in. You can't defend your way to the title. You have to lock in. All right, rant over. That's the negatives over. Now I want to be positive. Okay, I want to be positive. The first thing that I can be positive about is, in my opinion, Declan Rice comes back to the team and he looks just as good as when he left. I don't know what illness he had, but didn't really seem to stop him. Saka was phenomenal today. Easily my man of the match. He was good. You know, put in those 2 crosses that led to the own goals. I thought he was pretty solid. And I think that who was it? Yeah, Miles Lewis-Kelly was pretty solid today. Timber was pretty solid. Well, you know, but that's just Timber. He has those games pretty much every game. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, like Saka was good today. Timber was good today. Uh, I thought Raya wasn't bad today. I like Miles Lewis Skelly. Cameo. Uh, what else? Declan Rice was phenomenal today. It was between him and Saka. I'll probably give Saka the man of the match because obviously his two crosses led to the own goal. Declan Rice was really good today also. Um, I thought him coming back was really good. But yeah, I really liked those players. They were really good. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go through player ratings now. I think that was a good time to do that. Let's see what we got here. Okay, David Raya. I'd give Raya a 6 out of 10. He wasn't bad. He wasn't good. The goal, not much he could have done, in my opinion. Yeah, I'd give David Raya a 6 out of 10. He wasn't terrible. He wasn't obviously he wasn't a world beater. He wasn't like saving goals here and there or whatever. But I thought he was pretty solid back there. The goal, there was nothing he could do about it. 6 out of 10. Ben White, I thought he was doing okay for the most part. He comes off. I don't know if it's in a knock, if he was injured. I don't know what happened, but I'd give him maybe a 5.5 out of 10. Wasn't right. Five out of 10 is pretty like you were just solid. Didn't really see much of him. But defensively, he wasn't bad at all, right? I'd say 5.5 out of 10. Saliba. Saliba's been out, what? 3 games, if I'm not mistaken. He was pretty solid. I mean, obviously, he didn't get to keep a clean sheet. I thought he wasn't the best for the goal that we conceded. But I would give Saliba a 6 out of 10. He wasn't bad. I feel like the defense will probably have the highest ratings out of the whole team. Would be the defense. So I'd give Saliba a 6 out of 10. I think same with Hincapié. I'd also give him a 6 out of 10. Jurriën Timber. I thought Jurriën Timber was phenomenal. It was pretty solid. Yes, his crosses, his going forward, he didn't really get much out. But I like the fact that he was playing on the left-hand side and was pretty solid. Switches over to the right-hand side, was very solid. I'd give Jurriën Timber probably a 6.5 out of 10. I thought he was pretty solid back there. Oh boy, here we go. Here comes the slaughtering, and I'm gonna be firing off today, bro, because I am not. This was an unpleasant game, but I'm gonna try to keep professional. Eberiche Eze. 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 Look, that hat trick, Eze's hat trick against Tottenham. Beautiful. I love this hat trick against Tottenham. But my guy, you can't disappear in these games. I don't see you. Where are you? Where is Eze? Where is Eze? You know how they say, where's Waldo? Where's Waldo? Where's Eze? Bro, like, it'll be like 20, 30 minutes, and I'm like, where's Eze? Where did this guy go? I'm like, where's Waldo? Where's Eze? They're gonna have to produce a book called "Where Is Eze," because I understand that you're the kind of guy to win us a game or like be a moment's player, but like, bro, we need you to be involved throughout the rest of the game. You can't just like disappear for like 35 to 40 minutes and then score a goal. You can't do that every game. Some games we need you to be creative. Brother, that first like 40 minutes out of that first half. A half of football is 45 minutes. Out of that 40 minutes, I was like, bro, where's Eze? Is he even playing? So quiet. We brought you in to be to be impactful. And yes, I understand scoring goals and like assisting is very important, but if you're not doing that, you got to contribute in other ways. I'm not seeing that. The man's hiding. Where is Eze? Let it all work out. Brother, what are we working on right now? Because you ain't here. You got to show up for things to work. If you're not here, it ain't working. Where is Eze? I've been asking myself that more and more these past few games. Where is Eze? Where are you, brother? Like, don't get me wrong. Your hat trick against Tottenham, your game winner versus Crystal Palace, beautiful, right? Impact. I love that. But Crystal Palace was over a month ago. Tottenham is, what, 3 weeks ago now? 2 weeks ago? Life moves on. You gotta keep that going. It's gotta be the same every week. Give us your best performance every week. You can't disappear and then reappear every couple of games. We need you consistently. It's a whole season. You gotta be there consistently. You can't be disappearing, especially against Wolves. Where is Eze? You know what I mean? And look, I love Eze. I was so hyped when we got Eze. And I still believe in Eze. And I still think he's a great player. But my guy, you can't keep disappearing like this. You got to show up. You got to impact the game throughout the whole time you're there. You can't just show up and score a game winner or assist. You got to show up the whole game. You know? That's just my message to Eze. 4 out of 10. Eze gets a 4 out of 10 from me, bruh. No. I'm not playing around. This is going to be harsh. Harsh. Eze, 4 out of 10. I didn't see the impact today. And if you're not going to score or assist, you better be helping the team, whether it's pressing or making the right passes or whatever. I didn't see that. You were quiet. I mean, I'm like, this guy's barely on the ball. He's barely doing anything with the ball. Yeah. Get him out of here. 4 out of 10. You got hooked from Hearts and Odegaard. Get out of here. Zubamendi, man. He didn't have his best game, I can't lie. Zubamendi did not have his best game. I don't think he was as bad as Eze, but he wasn't impactful like Rice. And it's the same question I always have about Zubamendi. Zubamendi is very, very, very good on the ball as a defensive midfielder, right? But defensively, that guy is terrible. It's like he's still trying to get to the league. You know what I mean? Half the time when he's making a defensive impact, it's fouling. I'm like, bro, you got to be able to like get the ball from there without fouling. You know what I mean? I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. He wasn't as bad as Eze, but he was definitely not as good as Declan Rice. 5 out of 10 for Zubamendi. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty fair. Declan Rice. Oh, Declan. Declan Rice, if it wasn't for Saka, I would give Declan Rice the man of the match. But I feel like Saka edges him out just a little bit. But Declan Rice, that was a great game from you. You have an illness, you come back, you played like you've been playing. Right? He missed, a game? Comes back, no rust, no nothing. Same old Rice performance, right? 7 out of 10 for Declan Rice. Phenomenal game. Definitely. There was a few deliveries from him with corner kicks where I was like, ugh, like, it doesn't look that good, but I'm gonna have to give him I'm gonna give Declan Rice a 7 out of 10. That was a really good performance from Declan Rice. We're gonna go to Gabriel Martinelli. Gabriel Martinelli, what's going on, brother? Bro, why is Gabriel Martinelli playing like prime Ronaldinho in the Champions League, and then when it comes to the Premier League, he's playing like Fred. Washed Fred. Towards the end of his Manchester United career in the Premier League. What is going on, brother? Like, no, seriously. This guy, Gabriel Martinelli, scores against Bayern Munich, Atletico Madrid. Those two teams are better than half of the teams in the Premier League. Yet somehow, this guy has the worst performance against like the likes of like Wolves. What's going on? I just a confusing player. I mean, he's just scoring goals for fun in the Champions League against Bayern Munich, one of the best teams in the world. Atletico Madrid, a solid team. And yet he can't impact against bottom of the Premier League Wolves, man. What the hell is going on? The amount of times I see this guy put his head down. This Gabriel Martinelli. Bro, lift up your head. Lift up your head, bro. Lift up your head. You have to look. You have to be able to see. You know what I mean? You gotta be able to see. If you can't see, you ain't going nowhere. The amount of times I see him put it on his head, he runs, gets to the touchline, runs out of space, goes out for either a goal kick or, if he's lucky, a corner. I'm going to have to give you a 5 out of 10, Martinelli. You are not that good. You are meh. You are mid. Oh boy. 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 This next one is going to be Victor Gyökeres. Victor Gyökeres. Vic. Big Victor. Big Gyökeres. Our Swedish striker. I don't even know if I call you a striker. Are you a striker? I don't know if you play more like a Swedish fish. No disrespect to Swedish fish. They're delicious. This man, Victor Gyökeres. Victor. I'm going back full screen. Victor Gyökeres. I was a big supporter of yours before you got to this team. I was like, bring this guy in. He's scoring goals for fun. Now I understand. I had a friend, right? He watches other leagues, and he's a fan of Benfica. And he told me, he's all, hey, look, this Gyökeres guy, he's not that good. I said, what are you talking about? He's like, he's not that good. He doesn't even score against Benfica. And I said, what? He's like, yeah, he doesn't score against Benfica. He doesn't score against Porto. Most of his goals are against like the lower teams. I said, you got to be capping. This guy has almost 100 goals in 2 seasons. He's got to score some big games. He has a hat trick against Man City. He said, doesn't matter. 2 of his goals came from a penalty kick. But I didn't care. As an Arsenal fan, I wanted the best for Arsenal. And the best for Arsenal was getting the top goal scorer to just bad goals. Stand up there, we'll get you the ball, you bad goals. Victor Gyökeres. Do you know what scoring a goal looks like? The last time you scored a goal, brother, it's been like 3 months. It's been 4 months. You haven't scored a goal. Now a lot of people say, "Oh, he's not getting the service, right? He's not getting the service from Saka. He's not getting the service from Martinelli." Brother, you have to help in the build-up. You have to have a hold-up play. Now, sometimes his hold-up play is not bad, but that's the problem. It's got to be solid. Gyökeres. Victor Gyökeres. Oh, Victor Gyökeres, my guy. Bro, look at this. Look at his stats. Oh, it just doesn't look good. Look at these stats. Bro has, in 13 games, he's played in 13 Premier League games. He has 4 goals. 4 goals. His last goals was against Burnley. Almost, I think 2 months ago, right? Was that October? I think it was October. When did we play Burnley? Let us take a look at the last time we played Burnley, because some tells me it's been a long time since we played Burnley. Okay. All right, Burnley. This is the last time Victor Gyökeres scored a goal. November 1st. It is December 13th. So almost a month and a half, this guy has not scored a goal. Now, I like to do devil's advocate, and I like to be fair. He's been out for what? 3 weeks? Almost a month. I understand that. But the problem is that it's not like he was consistently scoring goals against Premier League or Champions League teams before he got injured. He scored 2 goals against Atletico Madrid. Fair. That's fair. He scored against Burnley. That's also fair, right? That's very fair. And then he got injured. I understand. But my issue is, when is he going to start getting going? It's halfway through the Premier League season, and I cannot sit here and be like, yo, yeah, Victor Gyökeres. Because this was supposed to be the stretch where Victor Gyökeres scores goals to kind of get himself going. You're playing Club Brugge, right? They're pretty much bottom of the Champions League. Doesn't score a goal. You're playing against Wolves, bottom of the Premier League. Doesn't score a goal. You got Everton next. Are you going to score a goal against Everton? Because if you don't score a goal against Everton, let's look at our matches. If he doesn't score against Everton, is he going to score against Crystal Palace? I don't know. Maybe. Will he score against Brighton? I don't know. Maybe. Can you for sure sit there and say that Victor Gyökeres is going to score a goal? Where is Victor Gyökeres going to score a goal? Where, when, where, how? How is he going to score a goal? And look, again, in defense of Victor Gyökeres, I understand. People say we don't really play to his strengths, right? We don't really play. I understand that. But at times, you got to feed off the scraps. It sucks, but you got to feed off the scraps. So when you get an opportunity, you gotta hit it. Make the keeper make a save. Do something. Now, he did have a good play where I think it was Trossard that chipped the ball into him. You know, he got it, held off the defender, then hit it across the goal. It wasn't a shot on target, but that was good, right? Guess when he did this? He did that in the 75th minute. Or the 70th minute. You've played the whole game. What have you been doing from the kickoff to that time? You ain't doing anything. Victor, I need you. I need you to score goals. You gotta score goals. That's what you gotta do. Get yourself in goal scoring positions. I understand he's got 4 goals, but I need more. You gotta have better hold-up play. You gotta, I don't know. What do we do with Victor? Is it his fault? Is it Mikel Arteta's fault? I mean, I've heard people say it's Mikel Arteta's fault. But then, Mikel Merino gets into the side and he scores goals. Gabriel Jesus, yes, he didn't score the goal today. But He got himself in that position where we all damn near thought he scored the goal. What about these people's movements? I mean, you can even look at Gabriel Jesus when he played against Club Brugge. When he came on for Victor, he looked way more smooth and silkier than Victor did. Am I wrong? I don't think so. So I'm not trying to hate on our players. I'm an Arsenal fan, right? I want the players to succeed. But my issue is that what is success for Victor Gyökeres? Does a player need to literally put it on a plate for him to score? If that's the case, that's not going to happen. This is the Premier League. This is the best league in the world. You have to look at how Haaland does it. Sometimes Phil Foden will give Haaland the ball at the halfway line, and Haaland has to dribble at the defender and shoot and create his own chance. Can you realistically see Victor Gyökeres doing that? Maybe. I don't know. Now look, if we win this Premier League in May and Victor Gyökeres got like 7 or 8 goals, I won't care. And I'm pretty sure most Arsenal fans won't care. Right? The issue is, if we get to May and we're in second place and we got to score goals to win games, and Victor Gyökeres got like 8 or 9 or 10 goals and isn't helping us to get these goals to win games, that's going to be an issue. So, as of right now, I'm still reserving myself. I haven't fully given up on Victor Gyökeres yet, because I still think there is a possibility that he gets going. You look at Kai Havertz, when in his first season, it wasn't until the second half of the season that he scored, I believe, 13 goals and got rolling. So could that happen to Victor Gyökeres? Absolutely, right? He can absolutely happen. Is it frustrating? Am I frustrated? Absolutely. I'm frustrated with Victor Gyökeres, not because I thought he was going to come to this new league and start running. No. I knew it was going to take some time to happen, right? But look at Hugo Ekitike. Completely different league. He seems to be able to get going, right? So it's you can't just use that excuse for everything. That, oh, Victor, it's a new league, because Hugo Ekitike, he's doing pretty solid in a brand new league. Now people say Liverpool may create better chances, right? They play more fluid football, and maybe that's what we got to do. Maybe we just got to play more fluid, better football. Maybe, I don't know. All I know is this guy's not scoring goals. And we as a team aren't really scoring goals. I understand we're the second highest goal scorers in the league. But the fact that we are, I believe, 4 goals behind or 5 goals behind Man City, who do not play until tomorrow, is a little bit concerning. I can't lie. It's a bit concerning. I don't know, like, I mean, do we just truly think, oh, this is the wrong game. Do we really truly think that, like, Victor Gyökeres just doesn't fit into the system? Could it be that maybe he just doesn't fit into our system? I've had people say that Mikel Arteta likes a false 9, right? He likes to play a false 9. But that's why Mikel Merino thrives. That's why Gabriel Jesus thrives. Do we got to switch up our system? But then do you switch up your system completely for just one player? Right? The argument is, do you switch up your system that has gotten you second and very close to winning the Premier League, or do you keep it the same way and tell the player that he has to get himself molded? But the problem you've got is that Victor Gyökeres is 27 years old. He's going to be 28 here soon. I don't know. I'm next year. I don't know what his birthday is, but he's going to be turning 28 here soon, right? Can a 28-year-old change the way he plays? Possibly, maybe, right? But you can't look at Victor Gyökeres. I don't know if he's the kind of guy to play a false 9. Does Victor Gyökeres drop down, hold up play, help with build up? Is that who he can be? I don't know. It doesn't really look like it, if I'm being honest. If I'm being completely honest, I don't know. I'm a bit nervous. I'm a bit nervous about Gyökeres. I have not given up on Gyökeres, but I'm a bit nervous that that was not the right guy for our squad. Seriously, like I think he might not be the guy for our squad. I think we could have gone for like a Ekatike. Obviously Isak was a bit tough to get, but obviously when his whole situation with Newcastle was developing, we could have gone for him, but that was pretty late in the window. Matt said, why is Saliba and Rice starting against Wolves? Rest them. We looked like shit. I don't know. If you know anything about Mikel Arteta, he has his favorites, and they will always play if they're fit and available. Rice, doesn't matter. If Rice says, yes, I'm good to go, coach, he puts him in the team. If Saliba says, I'm good to go, coach, he puts him on the team. I mean, if you look at it, against Liverpool, remember the game that we lost against Liverpool earlier this season? He places Saliba in, knowing that Saliba had an issue. I'm pretty sure he asked Saliba, hey, can you play this game? Saliba's like, oh, yeah, I can play, coach. Even though he clearly doesn't look 100% fit. He throws him in, has to sub him off after, what, like 10, 15 minutes? That's just Mikel Arteta. If you are one of his favorite players, if you say you're good to go, he puts you in the team. It doesn't matter. Why did he take Eze off? Take Zubi and put Ode. Look, and that's the issue that I sometimes have. Is that you need a goal. We need a goal to score. What does this do? What does he do? He takes off a creator and puts on another creator. Why don't you take off somebody who's not a creator and put on more creators? Go for the game. Go for it. It's Wolves, bruh. Wolves. They're the worst team in the league. Now, don't get me wrong. Eze wasn't playing. I honestly think Eze wasn't playing the best. But here's the thing. He's still a creator. Eze is still a creator. He's still a number 10. Throw Odegaard in. Take Zubimendi off, like you said, Mohammed. Take Zubimendi off. Put Odegaard on. Have Declan Rice play the lone 6. And tell everybody to move up the field. Go score a goal. This is the worst team in the league. They're the worst team in the league. Why are we treating the worst team in the league like they're some top 4 team? Throw on your offense. Tell Odegaard, get in there with Eze. Build something. Build up something. Eze's not been playing great. Cool. Throw Odegaard in there and tell him to build something. Maybe Eze could work off Odegaard and they can create something. It's the worst team in the league. Why do we still need 2 number 6s? Yes, I understand Declan Rice is technically an 8, but he still has defensive midfielder mentality. So leave him as the lone defensive midfielder. Will got the engine. Like, you know what I mean? Or you take Rice off. I mean, I would not go with this, but at least you take Rice off, and you put Odegaard there with Eze, and you leave Zubimendi in the 6. I don't know. You don't need 2 players that are originally defensive midfielders. You know what I mean? Like the problem with Arsenal is, man, we're lacking creativity. We don't have a lot of creative midfielders. You remember like 2014, 2015, like, right? Arsene Wenger, like, with you had Ramsey, Cazorla, like all those kind of players. You saw how fluid everything was. We were playing quick, fast, nice. We don't got that these days. I had a buddy, right, when I was watching the game at the bar. He said, Arsenal will win games. We might win the title, but we're never going to really win a game comfortably. As an Arsenal fan, in the back of your head, you could tell that the game's uncomfortable. And this was one of these games. Wolves are the worst team in the league. Around halftime, I was uncomfortable with the possibility that we either tie or lose to Wolves by like an odd goal. I'm being serious because Arsenal, they don't make you comfortable. They don't make you comfortable. We play against Wolves, I'm a bit uncomfortable. There's a possibility that we lose the game or tie the game. We're not creating enough chances. We're not peppering them. We don't look like like a way just better team than them. Arsenal win games uncomfortably. That's how it is. That's how it is. We win games uncomfortably. We don't win games by like just peppering 10 shots on target. The keeper had to make like 5 saves, but we still won like 5-0 or 5-1. We don't do that. Do you remember the end of the 23-24 season? It was 23-24 season, right? We were beating teams 6-0. We beat West Ham 6-0. We beat was it Crystal Palace 6-0. We beat Burnley 6-0. We were beating teams 6-0. Bro, by halftime, we were up by so much, their home fans were leaving the stadium. When was the last time you felt like we could beat a team 6-0? When was the last time you felt like we were going to win this game so comfortably you could put your legs up and enjoy? We don't do that. Every game, whether we win, whether we tie, whether we lose, you're uncomfortable. You don't have that feeling of, oh my goodness, we are just playing this team out of the park. We are just going at this team. They have nothing. They cannot come after us. I haven't had that in a while. This game against Wolves, the worst team in the league, I was nervous. At halftime, I was like, man, we do not look good. You know? Odegaard is finished. Look, I'll be honest. I don't know what the injuries to Odegaard. It might be time to put Odegaard on the bench and just have him come off the bench. I mean, I'll be honest with you. There was a play. I think it was like halfway through the second half, right, where it kind of looked like we were starting a counterattack, and I believe it was this Zubimendi, or it might have been Declan Rice that gave the ball to Odegaard. And Saka was making a run in between. Odegaard could have done a quick pass. It was like a 1-2-1-2, right? Zubimendi passes it to Odegaard. Saka makes a run. Odegaard could have easily passed it to Saka with a really quick. Instead, the man takes the ball, keeps dribbling, passes it to Rice. Rice is now surrounded by 2 players. He gives it out to Trossard, and Trossard loses the ball. I'm like, brother, you had Saka right there. Do a 1-2-1-2 quick. You learned this as a 5-year-old. You learn how to do one touch passes. Why can't you do the exact same thing? Why is it that you don't trust your left foot enough as a professional player to do a quick pass? Or not your left foot, sorry, your right foot. I understand you're left-footed. You should be able to at least use your left foot to do a simple pass. Your right foot, man, I'm so pissed I don't even know what I'm saying. Right foot. Use your right foot to make a simple pass. Muhammad said, I'd rather Jesus start than Gyökeres. Look, my brother, I'm absolutely with you. Gyökeres, look, I'm not trying to fully give up on him, but the guy looks like a terrible fit. Terrible fit. You remember when you were young? There was the game where you get the shapes. Is the shapes game? You get the shape and you got to put it into the right shape. You get the circle. You got to put it into like the shape that looks like a circle, the square. It's like we're trying to put a square into a circle shape. The Gyökeres just does not look like he fits at all in this team. The guy he does not have good hold-up play. He does not, the guy doesn't have good hold-up play. He can't play as a false 9. His anticipated runs, it doesn't look like he gets them right on time. Like, what are we doing? We don't, Saka, like, Saka, Eze, Martinelli, they're not finding him, right? Or when they do get the ball to him, he's too far away from the goal to impact anything. And the brother, Gyökeres, cannot dribble. You give him the ball, he can barely make a pass. You give him the ball, he can't even dribble up the field. Simple dribbling. I can't even see Gyökeres doing that. He just doesn't look like a good fit. Gyökeres looks like he should be just sitting in between the center defenders, waiting for a through ball pass to slot it in. That looks like that's the only way he's going to score on this team consistently. But guess what? We don't play like that. And I'll be honest, he's not the best at heading the ball either. A cross comes in, the ball doesn't, he heads it, and it ain't going on target. It's going out of bounds. So I mean, like, if I'm being honest, I don't know. I don't know what we do with Gyökeres, right? You can't give up on him yet. It's too early. Every time we go up a goal, these idiots sit back. Facts. I literally said this earlier in the stream. It is Wolves. They're the worst team in the league. Score a goal, go again. They're bad. They're demoralized. You demoralize them by scoring a goal, or the keeper scoring an own goal. Go again. Try to get another goal. Right? No. Let's sit back at home against the worst team in the league, and let's let them attack us. Let's let them have the ball. How did that turn out? They scored a goal. Thank God that their defender, or whoever that guy was that scored the own goal, scored it for us. Because if not, we would be having some uncomfortable conversation about the fact that we were struggling at home to this terrible Wolves side. Yeah, Wolves did have all the possession the last 10 minutes at home. It's not even like we were playing at their place. We were playing at the Emirates in front of our own crowd, cheering us on. And you want to sit back and let them have the ball with 10 minutes left to go? You're going to defend your way to a win against Wolves, a team that has not won a game, a team with 2 points in the Premier League with 16 games played? I mean, like, Arteta, man. These cannot be the tactics you're instilling in this team. How can you, as a coach, tell your team that how can you be sitting at the top of the Premier League table, number 1, and be telling your players that when you go up a goal against Wolves, the worst team in the league, that they should sit back and let them have the ball and defend your way to a win? How can you as a player sit there and be like, oh my God, this is the worst team in the league that we're playing against, and we're going to sit back and let them have the ball and defend our way? I understand that in football, you don't underestimate your opponent. I understand that. It's not underestimating. It's taking the ease off your defense. It's going again. Go for it. Play. Give your all. Don't just defend. Give your all. There were 3 goals scored. 3 goals scored in this game at home, and none of them were scored by our players. We did not score a single goal against Wolves at home. They're the worst team in the league, and it needed 2 own goals. One to break the deadlock, the other one to win against Wolves. Does that fill you with confidence? We have Everton on next, Saturday, Sunday? Next week, we have Everton. Does it fill you with confidence that we're gonna go and beat Everton confidently? It doesn't fill me with confidence. Do I still think we're gonna beat them? I think so, but it might end up being an ugly, ugly win, like this one was, at home to the worst team in the league. Why are we playing down to our opposition? Why are we acting like we are not Arsenal Football Club? Why are we acting like we don't have some of the best players in Europe? Why are we acting like this team that we're playing against are the worst team in the league? Why are we not going after them? It's not even like we were going after them and they somehow got a goal against the run of play, or they got a lucky counter attack and scored against us. They scored against us by having possession in our house. That is mad embarrassing. That is so embarrassing. That is very embarrassing to be at home and Wolves have all the possession in the last 10 minutes at home and score off of it. And then, you know what's even worse? After Wolves score is when we decided to lock in and try and get our second goal. Why did we do it earlier? If we had scored a second goal again, like we did at the end of the game, or if they had caused another, or if somehow they got another own goal and we were up 2-0, then you can be like, all right, there we go. Job's done. You can do a little bit of defending. Maybe you get the ball, you pass it in the back for 5 minutes, and you can end the game 2-0. Instead, at 1-0, which is a dangerous lead to have, we're deciding, yeah, that's perfect enough at home against Wolves. Even at 2-0, I wouldn't have been fully confident, but at least I would have been a little bit more confident at 2-0 than I would have at 1-0 to Wolves, letting them have the ball. Yeah, Nani playing great, no minutes. Why is Nani minute? Honestly, Mohammed, you have given me ammo. I'm gonna go off blaring. Why is Nani Madueke not playing? Why is Ethan Nwaneri not playing? What is going on? Especially Ethan. Ethan Nwaneri, last season, is scoring goals in the Champions League. Is scoring goals against Manchester City. Yet, against Wolves, the worst team in the league, you can't even give him 10, 15 minutes to play. Why? Why is Ethan Nwaneri not allowed to play 10 to 15 minutes? What did Ethan Nwaneri do to not be able to be trusted to play 10 to 15 minutes? What is going on? Seriously. Can anybody tell me what could possibly be the reasoning why Ethan Nwaneri goes from scoring goals against opponents in the Champions League? He scored against Girona. He scored against PSV. He scored against Man City. Seriously. Why is Ethan Nwaneri not getting minutes in this Arsenal side? Really? What could possibly be the reason to not give 10 to 15 minutes of Ethan Nwaneri? Yet last season, he's starting. I understand that it's injuries and whatever, but he clearly proved himself as a decent enough player to be a 10 to 15 minute off the bench type player, at least. How is Ethan Nwaneri not getting minutes? Seriously, it is mad disrespectful. This guy, Ethan Nwaneri, has been an Arsenal fan his whole life. He comes through the academy all the way up to the first senior team. You give him his debut at 15. He plays regular minutes at 17. And at 18, he can't even make the field for 5 minutes. That's mad disrespectful. That is so disrespectful. He signs a new contract, presumably with the knowledge that he's going to be playing games, right? Yet somehow he can't even get on the field against Wolves, the worst team in the league. Against Club Brugge, barely any minutes. Aston Villa, no minutes. An Aston Villa game that we had to win to keep Man City away. You don't bring on an attacking player. Why? Why can Ethan Nwaneri not get minutes? Seriously, guys. Why can he not get minutes? Last season, we're all hyping up Ethan, saying, oh my goodness, this guy's like, oh my God, our academy did it again. He's phenomenal. He's great. He could be starting. here soon. I'm hearing people say that he could possibly be playing for England in the World Cup. Now, all of a sudden, he can't even make the field for 5 to 10 minutes against Wolves, the worst team in the league. A game where you need goals. You don't bring on an attacking player, a player who can score goals, a player that goes for it. Why? I mean, it's absolute madness. What's going on? Nani Madueke scores a brace. Nani Madueke scores a brace against Club Brugge. His first goal is one of the best goals I've seen this season, along with Zubamendi's goal against, I believe it's Forest, and Trossard's goal against Sunderland. He doesn't even get 5 to 10 minutes game time while we're trying to win this game. Why? Why is he not? Why are you not putting on attacking players? You do realize you gotta score goals to win the league, right? You gotta score multiple goals to win the league. You gotta go for it. You gotta score goals. Yeah. And Ernie.K Music, it's very true. This guy is a Arsenal product. It's not like we bought him from another club. The only club he's ever played for is Arsenal. He played for the academy team. He played for the the youth team. He comes on last season playing for the badge, especially in a time period where Saka's injured, where Martinelli's injured. Ethan Nwaneri comes on with a front three of Trossard, Mikel Merino, and Ethan Nwaneri. He's scoring goals against Brighton. He's scoring goals against Man City. He's scoring goals against PSV. He's scoring goals against Girona. What could possibly have happened in a few months, right? Because all those games that I just mentioned were all in 2025. That you cannot give him minutes. What is going on with this manager sometimes, bro? Look, I'm not one of those Arteta out or whatever kind of guys, right? I'm like, dude, he's our coach. You gotta back him. Us fans are not gonna get Arteta fired. The only thing that gets Arteta fired is the board. The board decide not to. There's nothing we can do about it, right? Sure, we can have protests and whatever. Go ahead. But I'm not one of those guys. I'm one of those guys where if the board is trusting him, we as fans gotta go with it. Gotta just hope that he fixes it. But there's some things that he does where it's like, it just truly does not make any sense. Why are you not giving Ethan Nwaneri minutes? It's crazy. The guy literally plays well enough to have a deep Champions League run. We're having wins against Man City where he's scoring goals. He's being impactful in these games and you don't even give him a run of games. Instead, you're giving him pity minutes. Why in God's green earth is Mikel Merino playing in midfield over Ethan Nwaneri? Why? You look at the Liverpool game that we lost. Mikel Merino's played in midfield. You have Ethan Nwaneri there. If you want to rotate players so they don't get injured, how about you throw Ethan Nwaneri on? He doesn't get minutes. Put him on. Why? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. It's so disrespectful. It's so disrespectful that this guy is one of our own. We literally sing about Ethan Nwaneri. He's one of our own. He's one of our own. And yet, our coach doesn't treat him like he's one of our own. And it's not even like the kid is... Could it be discipline issues? I don't hear anything about Ethan Nwaneri. Do you guys ever hear about him in training, him not putting in 110% effort, him being lazy, him being late to training? I never hear any of these stories. There's literally nothing that is publicly available that could tell us that Ethan Waneri is doing that you could say, oh, it's disciplinary or whatever, or could be the reason why he's losing his spot. Or not even losing his spot, but not even given a chance to play for the club that he's loved since he was a little kid. Ernie.K Music says, I know why, because Waneri doesn't play Arteta's robotic system. He has that creative spark. He likes to drive forward and make something happen. Everything at Arsenal has to be slowed and controlled. And honestly, you might be right. And that might be the reason why he loves Odegaard, even though at times Odegaard has killed our attack. At times. I'm not saying all the time, but there's times where we're coming up the field, and Odegaard, instead of, driving the ball forward, making a pass to the center forward or whatever, he'll take a few touches and then give the ball back to Declan Rice or give the ball back to Zubamendi. It's like, dude, you are the attacking midfielder. Attack! What are you doing? And it could be. I've heard people say that Ethan Waneri, he loses the ball a lot, which Arteta hates. Arteta hates when players lose the ball. Arteta hates when players aren't pressing. Arteta hates when players aren't, tracking back to play defensively. And apparently those are some of the reasons, or some of the things that Ethan doesn't do, right? He loses the ball a lot because he tries things. Maybe he doesn't press as hard. Maybe he doesn't track back as much. And that's what some people have said could be the reason. Now, some of those are valid, right? We do want somebody who does track back here and there. But he's not a defender. He's not a defensive midfielder. He's an attacker, or he plays on the wing. Why in the God's green earth do we need our players in the attacking midfield and our wing to be tracking back all the time to play defensively? We have the best, we have literally talked about how good our defense is, yet we're still needing our attacking players to run back every single time to play defense. We shouldn't need that. We shouldn't need it all the time. You shouldn't get mad because a player loses the ball here and there. It's not like he's just holding onto the ball and gets stripped of it. He's trying something. He's trying to go forward. He's trying to move forward with the ball. And if you have problems with these issues, talk to him about it. The guy doesn't even get to play to where you can even say he's repeatedly doing these things. Against Club Brugge in the Champions League, Ethan almost scores. If it wasn't for a beautiful save by the Club Brugge keeper, he would have scored a goal. Guy barely gets any playing time and almost scored a goal. Yet the likes of Victor Gyökeres, the likes of Odegaard are producing nothing. Nothing. Yeah, Ethan Waneri can't get a run of games. When he looks threatening, when he looks like he could score a goal, goals that we need to win games to win the league. These are all things we need. What is going on? Look, Arteta, sometimes you gotta let go of the reins. You gotta let these players go forward and go at it. Sure. There's a possibility that, we may lose the ball. That's why we have the best defense in the league. Saliba's back. Even when Saliba and Gabriel were fully healthy, you were still having our striker, our left and right wing drop down to try to help them. We have the best defense in the league. Leave some players up. Leave your attackers up. Leave the attacking midfielder up. Leave at least one of the wing players up. You cannot defend your way to the title. You cannot do that. Cool. You only allowed 20 goals in. Cool. You only allowed 15 goals in. Did it win you the league? If it did, awesome. If it doesn't, why? Oh, because you weren't able to score enough goals to win games? Well, that's an issue. Because at all times, if we were winning games 1-0 or 2-0, I'd be like, fine. But there's some games where it's like, we need to score a lot of goals. We need to go in there and pepper their defense. Make their defense tired. Make their center mids tired from having to defend. We're clearly the better team, but we're not doing that. So that gives them the opportunity to come at us, and it makes our defense tired. Ernie K Music says, how many times were we going forward and all of a sudden Declan or Zubimendi or Martinelli pauses the attack to pass backwards and sideways, literally inviting Wolves to get into position? Facts! Facts, Ernie. Facts. That is absolute facts. Sometimes, like, I think the last fast break goal, right? Like the counter attack goal that we had at Arsenal, I believe was Burnley. It was the Declan header, right? Boom. I think it was Gyökeres that passed the ball. It got to Trossard. Trossard kicks the ball. Rice scores it. When was the last time you saw Arsenal do a goal like that? Our goals are slow. You know, we embroid. We pass here. We pass there. Oh. This is Odegaard. I'm going to pass to Saka. Saka passes back to me. I'm going to pass to Declan Rice. Then Declan Rice passes it to Trossard. Then Trossard passes it back to Declan Rice. Declan Rice passes it to Odegaard. Saka makes a little run. Odegaard passes to Saka. But Saka's got two players around him. So what does he do? He's got to pass it back to Odegaard. Odegaard then holds the ball. Waits. Then passes back to Declan Rice. Nobody shoots. Nobody's quick. Everything is slow. And then either we try to cross the ball in, but then guess what? A player heads the ball away. Why? Because they were able to organize while we were doing all that passing around. Slowly. Doing nothing. And you know the reason why we do that is because Arteta tells them, guys, don't lose the ball. Hold on to the ball. Have possession. Possession will win us the game. So then, teams like Wolves or whatever, they're like, all right, you guys can have all the possession. You cross the ball in, we'll head it away. You try to do anything? Oh, you're too slow? We've already made ourselves solid at the back. So now you can't penetrate. Pause. But you know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? We don't go fast. And honestly, maybe if we did play fast, it might benefit Victor Gyökeres. I don't know. It could possibly. Because the way we play so damn slow, we're always shocked at why teams are able to have a low block against us. It's easy to have a low block against a team that holds the ball forever and passes sideways back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. How about you go a little bit quicker? You go a little bit quicker, who knows? Maybe you'll be able to catch them out of position. But we don't do that. We don't play counter-attacking. Every single time a counterattack is possible, you got Declan Rice, he holds the ball a little bit. You got Odegaard, he holds the ball. You got Mikel Merino, he holds the ball. And then, when we finally do get in the opponent's half, the opponent's 18-yard box, they're set. They've got their 5 defenders at the back. They've got their midfielders right in front of them. And it's damn near impossible to get past them. Why? Because we took too long. You take too long, guess what? You give teams the ability to get set. So that it's easy. You know? And like, I understand, you know, sometimes it's good to be defensively solid. Because I'll be honest with you. You look at Man City's defense. You look at Chelsea's defense. You look at Liverpool's defense. Those are terrible defense. They're leaking goals left, right, and center. I understand. And I understand sometimes Arteta sees that and says, we got to be defensively solid. But sometimes you gotta lock in the offense. You gotta lock in the attacking aspect of the game. Football is a game of two halves. You have your defense and you have your offense. Your offense scores the goals. Your defense keeps the other offense from scoring a goal. It's that simple. If all you're doing is defending and hoping to get a set piece goal or something, sometimes it works. Sometimes we score set piece goals. And other times we're not able to score set piece goals. So we gotta get going. Now I understand we've scored some open play goals. Obviously, it's not all just set piece FC. But the reason why we were given that title was because it felt like all of our creation came from dead ball situations instead of open play. And sometimes it feels like it's intentionally designed like that. But you can't win games like that. Ernie says, I feel like Arteta had the formula in 22-23 when it was free-flowing attack. He just didn't have the squad depth personnel. Now he does, but our attack looks woeful at times. Absolutely. You know what would be the perfect Arsenal team? If you took Mikel Arteta's system from 22-23 and implemented it into our squad today, we would be unplayable. We would be the best team in Europe without a single doubt, both offense and defense, easily. We have defensive solidity. We have a lot of injuries now, but all these players will come back here in the new year, right? Saliba's back, Declan Rice is back, Timber's back. Soon, Kai Havertz will be back. I mean, Gabriel Jesus is back. Soon, Big Gabby will be back. Can we play like 22-23, where you go for it, where you're scoring and you're beating teams out of the park, you're blitzing them, and then they're not able to beat you because you have good defensive solidity back there. You got the best defensive pairing in Europe back there, so you don't have your attacking midfielder, or you don't have your right and your left wing coming all the way back to help. You tell them stay up there a little bit. We got the best defense in the world. Stay up, so that once we're able to stop the team, stop their attack, whatever, we can get it to you, and you can start your own attack like we did in 22-23. We blitzed these teams. Is that a possibility? Or is it going to be slow, embroidering, fall asleep football, where we have to score the perfectly placed goal, the perfect analytical goal? All right, here's how it's going to go. Odegaard's going to have the ball. Then he's going to pass it to Declan Rice. Then Declan Rice is going to pass it to Trossard. And then Trossard will pass it right back to Declan Rice. And then Declan Rice will pass it sideways back to Odegaard. And then Odegaard will pass it to Saka. And then Saka is going to do everything he can to beat two defenders. And then when he does, he's going to cross it in. And then there's a possibility that it gets on the head of an Arsenal player who can head the ball in. Or, the opposing player will head the ball away. Declan Rice will recover it. And we'll start again. And then maybe next time we'll be able to get the ball into the back of the net. Like, what are we doing? It's sad. It's really sad. This is a game where it felt like we lost, but we won. And what did we lose? We lost like kind of that belief. Like, me personally, I lost a little bit of belief in, a possibility of just, yeah, we're the best team in the Premier League, and we're going to win the Premier League. There was a little bit of me that lost a little bit of belief in that. I still think we're going to win the league, but I don't think we're going to win the league because of ourselves. I think we're going to win the league because of other teams slipping up, whether it's Man City slipping up or I don't know whoever else is in the title race, Aston Villa as of right now, or Chelsea if they ever somehow end up being in the title race, right? This is the game that made me realize that I don't know if Arsenal will win the league because of Arsenal, or if Arsenal will win the league because Man City slips up. Something tell me that's what it's going to be. And look, sometimes that's what you need to win the league. I understand. Sometimes that is what you need to win the league. You need maybe a little bit of luck. But other times, you have to create your own luck. You have to create your own separation. And I always go back to this. Man City has won the league what, 5 out of the past 7 years, right? Man City has won the league. The 2 times that they did not win the league, it was won by Liverpool. How did Liverpool win the league those 2 years? In 2019-2020, under Jurgen Klopp, Liverpool won the league by winning every game. I mean, they were just winning games. They were winning games. They were beating teams left, right, and center. By Christmas, the league was pretty much wrapped up, right? I think they had like a 15-point advantage by Christmas. They were just beating teams left, right, and center. In last year, when they won the league, how did they win the league? They won the league by just being consistent. They were winning left, right, center. While Man City were falling down. Now, obviously, there's a few things that had to deal with it, right? We got hit with injuries. Man City got hit with injuries. But at the same time, Liverpool also had injuries also. But guess what? They just stayed consistent. They just consistently kept winning. Now, with us, you got to stay consistent. Right? You got to stay consistent. Because as much as we want to use like the injuries caused whatever, or slip up, injuries happen. They happen. You have to get over that hump. That's the reason why we bought the squad we did. That's why we have backups for every position. But the problem is, and this comes back to my point, Arteta is not using some of his backups. Why is Ethan Nwaneri not playing? Right? Why? Why is Christian Norgard not playing some games? Christian Norgard is brought in as a defensive midfielder. You can't even play Christian Norgard in games where it's like it should be an easy win. For example, Wolves. Right? You would think that in an ideal world, you can leave Zubamendi on the bench. You can leave Rice on the bench. And you put in Christian Norgard. You can put in Ethan Nwaneri into that midfield. Arteta doesn't do that. You don't rotate your players. You play Rice every single chance you get, you play Declan Rice. Every single chance. Luckily enough for us, Declan Rice has an engine that can run, that feels like it can run forever. But you play him so much, you don't trust the bench, the same players you bought. Christian Norgard can't even get a play. Ethan Nwaneri can't even get a play. Why? Why is Nani Madueke not getting minutes in this game? You don't trust Nani Madueke against Wolves? Really? He just played against Club Brugge. A team that, in my opinion, Wolves is worse than. Mainly because Club Brugge, it felt like they had a better attack than Wolves did. But yeah, Nani Madueke cannot get a run of games. Right? Like what's going on? You got to rotate the players. We have the squad. We got to rotate. Alrighty, if Declan Rice gets injured, we're finished. Guy's literally running on fumes. Arteta got blood on his hands if that happens. Facts! Declan Rice is playing so much football. So much. You mean to tell me that Declan Rice cannot come off the bench against Wolves? You do not trust your other players enough to leave Declan Rice on the bench against Wolves? If you cannot bring Declan Rice off the bench against Wolves, we have an issue. We have a serious issue. Maybe we're not as good as we thought we were. Declan Rice is playing so much football that if anything happens to him, we are in big trouble. One, you don't trust anybody to replace him. Two, his replacements, can they do what he does? Can they? But here's the issue. You shouldn't need Declan Rice against Wolves. You shouldn't need Declan Rice against Burnley. You shouldn't need Declan Rice against West Ham. You shouldn't need Declan Rice against... You shouldn't need Declan Rice against the bottom teams. He should be able to get a rest against the bottom teams or come off the bench. And then when we're playing the big teams, the Man Cities, the Chelseas, the Aston Villas, the Bayern Munich, the Inter Milan, you can then put him as a starter so that he's getting a balance of rest, coming off the bench, starting. Brother, Declan Rice looks exhausted. He looks exhausted out there. I don't know if you watched, any of you watched against, I think it was Brighton. My heart sank when Declan Rice, it looked like Declan Rice was injured. I was like, I don't know what would happen. Against Aston Villa, he looked tired. He looked dead. The man was so exhausted against Aston Villa. There he goes again, playing another 90. Why? Why can't you bring on somebody else? Throw Ethan Waneri in there for the last 10 minutes. Oh, you don't want to trust Ethan? All right. Throw Christian Norgard in. Put Norgard in the 6. Put Zupamendi in the 8. I don't know. Or play a double pivot of 6 with Norgard and Zupamendi. Do something. Change something. Give Declan Rice a breather. It's the same thing you did with Bukayo Saka, and then we wondered why he was getting injuries. Bukayo Saka had hamstring issues in both legs. You ran him to the ground. The same thing you're doing to Declan Rice. You play the same issue that I have with how much he uses certain players. Bukayo Saka. Play him so many games, he gets injured. Give him a rest. Declan Rice, you're playing him so many games. There's only so much the human body can take. Gabriel, Big Gabby. He plays so many games. He goes international, gets injured. Now, was that our fault? I don't know. But he played 2 or 3 games with Brazil this year? We have so many muscle injuries that occur, bro. So many. So many muscle injuries that are happening at this club. So many hamstring problems. It is not a coincidence. You overplay the players. You don't rotate enough. You have to rotate. You cannot play players 90 minutes, game in and game out, and expect these players not to break down. Give Declan Rice a rest. Against Everton, have him come off the bench. Can you do that? Have him come off the bench. Second half. Let him play 30 minutes. I don't know. Give Ethan Waneri a run of games. Let him play. You cannot tell me that Ethan Waneri, you do not trust him that much against teams like Everton and Wolves when you had him playing against Man City last season. You cannot tell me that. There cannot be that much loss of confidence in one player in over one season. Last season, he's playing lots of minutes against good Premier League teams. Yeah, you can't give him the exact same amount of minutes. You cannot tell me that Norgard, captain of Brentford, starter at Brentford, you can't give him some starter minutes against teams like Wolves and Everton. Come on. Come on, Mikel. Come on, Mikel. We got to lock in. I don't know. It's a little scary. I just hope Declan Rice stays healthy, like for everybody's sake. Declan Rice gotta stay healthy. If Declan Rice doesn't stay healthy, we are in big, 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 big trouble. We cannot replace that guy. And it feels like everybody knows this except for Arteta. Arteta seems like the only guy that does not realize that, hey, this game, it's against the bottom of the Premier League team. Rest Rice. This game is against an inconsistent Everton team. Rest Rice. I don't know. Yeah, but Victor Gyökeres's rating, I'm gonna have to give him a 4 out of 10. There was one good play, like just before he got subbed off again, where Trossard got him the ball. He brought it down, held off the defender, then kicked it just wide of the goal. That's pretty much the only thing that I saw him really do, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I don't know, man. Victor Gyökeres, he just doesn't seem to fit into the system that Arteta plays. And I don't know if Arteta is going to change his system or if Victor Gyökeres is going to adapt. But one of them has to give. If not, he's going to have to come off the bench. I mean, I don't know what else to say. He's going to have to come off the bench. Let's see here. Ernie says, and now Ben White, third game in a row, he started on the back of inconsistent game time. This manager just doesn't know how to rotate his squad. Facts. Now look, Ben White's probably injured. It's like I just don't get it. Like, Mikel Arteta, you were a player. You played the game professionally. You should be the first one to understand how important it is to rotate players and give them rest. You played for Arsenal. You played for Everton. You played for PSG. You played for Real Sociedad. You played for all these teams. You're telling me not once your coach rotated you with other players, other midfielders? Really? Come on, man. You gotta learn how to rotate players. You can't go with your best 11 every single game. You can't. And there's some games you shouldn't need to go with your best 11. You shouldn't have needed to go with your best 11 against Everton. Like, what are we doing? I just hope Ben White is okay. Because Timber just got back and Ben White is injured. Like, I mean, it's just one in and one out. One in, one out. Let's look at the bench. Martin Odegaard. Oh, Martin Odegaard. Martin Odegaard, man. I don't know what to say about Martin Odegaard. Some games he has pretty solid games where I'm like, all right, you've been solid. In other games, I'm just like, what are you doing? You are the attacking midfielder. You're supposed to be the facilitator of our attack. Yet you are being a passenger instead of the driver. You are supposed to drive this vehicle. Martin Odegaard sometimes does not realize he's supposed to be the Uber driver. He doesn't realize he's supposed to be the bus driver. You're supposed to drive this vehicle. Instead, this guy is just watching. That's all, he's just watching. You know what I mean? Like, well, when was the last time Odegaard had an assist in any competition? Let's look at his stats. Let's look at Martin Odegaard's stats. Look at that. Champions League, 0 goals. He has 1 assist. Okay. Premier League, 0 goals, 1 assist. EFL Cup, he's got 2 assists. Oh no, that was last season. So he does. So this season, Martin Odegaard has 2 assists. That's it. That's it. He's not getting assists because he's not facilitating. He's a passenger. He gets the ball, he gives it back to Declan Rice. He gets the ball, he gives it back to Saka. Or what he does is he does that little scoop pass where he tries to scoop the ball over the back line. And I've never seen that pass work. Yet he always keeps doing it. I'm like, why do you keep doing that little scoop pass? You don't need to do the scoop pass. Just do a regular on the ground pass. You're an attacking midfielder. You cannot tell me that you guys do not practice this during practice. You know? Odegaard, I'm going to have to give you a 5 out of 10. I did not think you were that good this game. There was just moments where I'm like, you're killing the attack. You're taking too long on the ball. You got to pass the ball quicker. You got to move things along. As the attacking midfielder, you got to move things quickly. Move it quickly. It will benefit everybody. Move the ball quickly. Yeah, Odegaard 5 out of 10. Gabriel Jesus, man. That was a beautiful cameo from Gabriel Jesus. If I'm being honest, I would start Gabriel Jesus over Victor Gyökeres. I would start him. I would start Gabriel Jesus over Victor Gyökeres. I understand we don't want to we don't want to drop Victor Gyökeres' confidence. I know we want to, let Gyökeres kind of get into form, but we're chasing a Premier League title, man. I'm not here for players to gain their form or whatever. If you're playing bad and there's a player playing better than you, you're going to the bench. I'm sorry. It's Arsenal over everybody. The success of Arsenal is more important than a player. So if a player is not playing good, or is cold, or is rusty, and there's another player that's playing better than you, in this case, I think Gabriel Jesus is playing better than Victor Gyökeres, I would start Gabriel Jesus over Victor Gyökeres. That's just my opinion. I don't know if Arteta will do that, but I think it's time. It's time. We need to win games. I'm gonna give Gabriel Jesus a 6.5. 6.5 out of 10. I thought he was pretty solid. I thought he obviously he didn't score the goal, but he got himself in that position which caused the defender to make that mistake. Just something I was not seeing Gyökeres do the whole 70 minutes he was in the game. Yeah. Leandro Trossard. Leandro Trossard, he was okay. He wasn't the best. He wasn't at his best, but I wouldn't say he was overly terrible. There's a few times where I thought he could have crossed the ball in or shot the ball earlier, and he didn't, unfortunately. But I can't truly say that I thought he was that bad. I'd probably give Trossard a 5.5 out of 10. Maybe 6 out of 10. I'd probably put 6 out of 10 as the highest. Mikel Merino. Mikel Merino, man. Mikel Merino is such a confusing player because, I swear, some days, some games, he plays like he's Brazilian R9. And in other games, I'm like, dude, I feel like a local Sunday league player can get the ball off you. That's how slow, lethargic, uninspiring you're playing. And I feel like today's game, I don't really know what he really did. It was one of those Mikel Merino games in midfield where you're like, I don't know about this one, Chief. I'd give him a 5 out of 10. I don't think he really did anything too crazy. I don't Miles Lewis Kelly. I I thought it was just kind of a okay game. I wouldn't say he was like anything he did was very impactful, but he wasn't terrible. But I don't know. He was just kind of there, in my opinion. I'd probably give Miles Lewis Kelly probably a 5.5 out of 10. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty fair. And then Mikel Arteta. Oh, Mikel Arteta. Mikel Arteta is one lucky man. Mikel Arteta is lucky that Mosquera, the Wolves player, scored that own goal. Because if I'm being honest with you, man, that was gonna be a very sticky situation for Mikel Arteta if we had tied that game. I'll be honest with you. There would have been a lot of people that would have been like, brother, what are you doing? Like, this is Wolves. We're supposed to be the best team in the league at home, and we are struggling against Wolves. There would have been a lot of fans that would have been like, "Oh man, I don't know if this would have been an inspiring result." There would have been some doubts, especially from me. I would have been like, "I don't know about this one, Chief. You might not be the one to push us over the line, you know." Yeah, Mikel Arteta, I'm gonna have to give him because we won. I can't give him too low of a rating. But I watched the game with my two eyes. And you cannot, as a fan, say that was an inspiring result. That was like we grinded that out kind of result. That was almost like we got lucky that these Wolves players, their goalkeeper, a lucky bounce into the goal. The Wolves header into their own goal. Abdul says there are days like that. And look, they are. Like City last week. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? You know, they beat Fulham 5-4. Against Leeds, they won 3-2. Right? That's fair. But City's result was from the fact that their defense is terrible. Our result is from the fact that our defense is solid, but our offense is just lethargic. And I'm sorry. You can win trophies with your defense being terrible. I'll give you an example. Barcelona. Their defense is out just terrible, but they win trophies because their offense is good. You want an example? Look at Liverpool last year. We had a better defense than Liverpool last year, but they won the league based solely on their offense. Mohamed Salah, their offense being solid game in and game out. Hell, you can even look at the City team that won the league over us in, what was it, 2023, 2024. We had a better defense than City, in my opinion. I think we allowed less goals in than City, but they still won because of their offense. Look, defense, you need solid defense, right? Because defense wins you titles. But to win titles, you got to win games. And to win games, you need a solid offense. If your offense ain't good, you're not winning games. You're not winning titles. You got to win. You got to score goals. Right? Your defense will win you a title, but in order to win a title, you got to win games. And in order to win games, you have to score goals. And that's where your offense comes into it. It's a balance. You have to have good offense and good defense. But you can win with good offense and subpar defense. Hell, even Man City's showing it right now. Their defense is terrible. Yet somehow they're 5 points behind us as of right now. You know? So, yeah. I'm going to give Mikel Arteta a 4 out of 10. for that performance yesterday. He got lucky. If we had tied that game, he would have been looking at a 1 or a 2 out of 10 performance from him. Terrible, terrible rotation. He's running Declan Rice into the ground. He's, not rotating his players. He doesn't trust his bench players. He doesn't trust the youngsters like Ethan Nwaneri. That was very vital to how far we were able to reach in the Champions League last season. And at times, his man management is just terrible. It's just bad. His player management is just bad. Why are you playing Declan Rice so many games? Why is Bukayo Saka playing against Club Brugge? Why? Why is Nani Madueke not getting 10 games against Wolves? Why is Ethan Nwaneri not getting game time? Why is Christian Norgard not getting game time? That's 3 players right there that he could easily rotate with his other players that have been playing so many games on the field. And then, Bukayo Saka, God forbid, Declan Rice, God forbid, gets injured. Then us fans are like, oh my God, why do we face so many injuries? I don't know. Maybe because they play 300 games a year? Because Arteta doesn't seem to trust anybody else but that select best 11 that he has in his mind, and he will play them, whether it is a Carabao Cup game against a League 2 team or a Champions League game that we pretty much have already qualified for, and yeah, he's still playing these players, or against the worst team in the league in Wolves, right? In my opinion, Mikel Arteta is a very good coach. But as a manager, I don't know, man. At times I'm like, brother, your man management, your player management is outrageous. It's terrible. And then, when he gets asked why Ethan Nwaneri's not playing, he gives a generic answer like, oh, Ethan has done so much, he deserves to play. Then play him! You are the coach. You have the power to substitute him. You have the power to start him. I think it was like a month ago. I forgot what game it was. There was a press conference. One of the reporters asked him, why Ethan Nwaneri wasn't getting a lot of minutes. And his answer was, yeah, Ethan is a great player. He showed so much in training and in the games that he's played that he's a phenomenal player and he deserves a lot of minutes. I sat there like, okay, is there like more to the story? Because if that's the end of it, then you're just throwing yourself under the bus. Because you just said he deserves more minutes. The only person that can give him those minutes is you. You're the one that picks the team. You're the one that makes the substitutions. Why aren't you doing it? I was so baffled. I was like, what? So he just said, okay, so Ethan deserves minutes. Those minutes will come. Blah, blah, blah. When? You're the manager. Tell us. Tell us why he's not playing. Tell us why he's not getting those minutes. Oh, is there a lot of players in front of him? Okay. We're going through an injury crisis right now. We literally did a month ago. We had an injury crisis in our attacking players. Why is he still not playing? You're the coach. You have to answer the question. You can't just say, "Oh yeah, Ethan is a great player. He works so hard in practice and training. He does this and that. Now he definitely does deserve those minutes. Oh, that was soon to come." When is that coming? When is soon? When? You're the coach. No, I don't get it. It just, I don't know. Okay, this is Mikel Arteta's post game press or little interview that he did. He said a big 3 points, especially the way things turned out at the end. In the first half, we generated a lot of situations into very dangerous areas without creating big chances from that. So we had to really improve the efficiency in the last delivery. All right. I don't know. Maybe Mikel, you want to maybe tell the team to not slow things down, play at a snail pace. Maybe tell the team to be quicker in how they attack, so that we can, I don't know, surprise the opposition or something. I don't know. Yeah, we missed a massive clear chance with Gabi 2 yards away, which should have been a goal, but it wasn't. It doesn't matter if we get if, buts, and maybes. If it's not a goal, it's not a goal. Like I don't get it. In the second half, we adjusted a few things. We were more efficient. We generated more chances and scored a goal. By the way, it was an own goal. If it wasn't for the keeper's blunder, we wouldn't have scored a goal. It wasn't even like we scored the goal ourselves. It was the keeper's fault. The keeper knocked the ball into the goal, into the back of the net. If he had not done that, we wouldn't have scored. We did not score a single goal. I will repeat this. At home to What's the city called? Wolverhampton? Wolves? The worst team in the league. We did not score a goal against them. All three goals that were scored in this game were scored by Wolves. Wolves scored their own goal. Like the goal that they got, they scored it themselves. And then the 2 goals that were given for us to win the game was scored by them. So I don't even know what it's an embarrassment, man. It's an embarrassment. But then we had a period of 2 minutes where we had to sit deep because they committed a lot of players. It's Wolves. By the way, I think I saw a stat that said that Arsenal, our squad value, I think it was like 3 times Wolves' squad value. Our whole squad versus their whole squad. I think it was 3 times their squad value. I think I saw that. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. It could be false. But I'm pretty sure that our squad, our players, are worth a lot more than every one of their players, right? Why in God's green earth, against the worst team in the league at home, are we having to sit deep? Against, to protect a 1-goal lead. We're protecting a 1-goal lead to Wolves at home. That is embarrassing. You shouldn't have to sit back. It's Wolves at home. They should be the one having to sit back. So he said we had a period of 2 minutes where we had to sit deep because they committed a lot of players. We could not press them in that moment. Why? We have better quality players than them. We should be able to press them. Why can we not? I don't know, man. That's just wild. We could not press them in that moment, and our defensive habits were terrible. And when that happens, even though we didn't concede a single shot throughout the game, they just needed that action to score a goal and put the game into a really difficult position. Unbelievable. So thank God at the end we reacted, and Bukayo put a great ball in the box. Why didn't he do that when we were up 1-0, Mikel? Why did it take Wolves scoring a goal for us to finally go for it and score that second goal? Why don't we have that mentality, Mikel, to go for it? Why are we sitting back with a 1-goal lead at home to the worst team in the league? We should be going for that second goal the first time we score that goal. Boom, second goal. Go for it. Sink your teeth in. Go for the kill. Like, why? You know? I don't know. Yeah, Gabby touched it. I think it was an own goal. It was an own goal. If not, Mikel is there as well, and Leo's there to put it in the back of the net. And thank God we won the game. And he is right. Thank God we won the game, because as much right now that I'm yelling, I seem frustrated. I am very happy that we won the game, because in the aspect of it, one, I want us to win the title, and we needed to win this game to keep Man City at a distance. And two, it would have been so embarrassing to tie to Wolves, the worst team in the league. They have 2 points from 2 ties, from 2 draws. We should have not been a third draw. We're the top of the league. We should be in a category of our own, not drawing to Wolves. So thank God we won that game. Saved us, Arsenal fans, the club, a lot of embarrassment, because that's embarrassing if we draw against Wolves. He says, I want to see the character before when we score the goal, and we have to prevent them scoring. That's why we had to show the character at the end. And that's what I'm saying. Maybe show the character before they score the goal. You score a goal, don't sit back. Attack them. Press them. Get the ball off them. We have better quality players. Do that. Get the ball. Go for it. Pepper their goal. You scored one, score another. It's Wolves. It's not like we're playing Man City. It's not like we're playing Chelsea. It's Wolves. Anyways. Yeah, the boss had full praise for Gabriel Jesus, who was announced as the scorer of our winning goal, but replay showed that Yerson Mosquera got the final touch. That saw 1 point turn back into 2. However, the run striker, yeah. I mean, it's pretty much talking about Gabriel Jesus' great movement that got the ball. On Jesus, Mikel said he showed that in midweek as well, and we are delighted to have him. You could see the reaction of the crowd as well with him. He's another one that is in a good moment and looks a threat. So very positive. There are a few days for the boys after a very tight schedule to reset and then come back and start to train as well. Certain things slowly deteriorate because we don't have time to train them. I don't know, Mikel. Maybe rotate the players. Give Declan Rice a rest. Give Saka a rest. Give Timber a rest. You got players. You got a squad. Rotate. Put Waneri on. Put Madueke on. Put Norgard on. Put all these players on. You got players. You can rotate. You got to rotate. And we need to pick up because the Christmas period is coming and we know how important that is. Yeah. He's right. All right, so after today's game and some of the games that happened, here's the standings. We are top. We've got 36 points. Man City 31. They played what is tomorrow for us here in the States, but I believe in the UK that is in about 7 hours they play. So we'll see how that game goes. I'm hoping Crystal Palace can, beat them or at least hold them to a draw. But like I said, you can't really depend on other teams to beat your rivals. You have to beat your rivals, and you gotta win to put separations between you and your rivals. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. I don't know if Mateta is playing tomorrow, but you just gotta hope. You gotta hope that City drop points, so we can kind of keep a gap between us and them. I believe Aston Villa's also playing tomorrow. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm also keeping track of Aston Villa's result. Ernie says, I don't believe that this team will beat Everton next weekend at Dickinson. Do you know how bad our away record is at Everton? Yeah, we don't really have a good, well, but that was at Goodison Park, right? Like, this is what I always say. Like, if we're playing in a new stadium, everything resets. Everything resets. Okay, we have not played at this new stadium, so here's a chance to reset and create a positive momentum at this ground. At Goodison Park, their old stadium, we were not. It was a tough place to play at. We didn't have the best record, so we'll have to see. But look, it's a new stadium. Hopefully, we can start off in a positive light. That's all I can say. But anyway, yeah, like I said, I cannot believe it, but I'm watching Aston Villa because they're right there, right? If they win this game, they're 3 points away from us. So I'm watching Aston Villa also, hoping that they drop points. I don't see them dropping points against West Ham. Well, I mean, West Ham are dreadful. They're pretty much Jared Bowen or bust. That's literally West Ham. They're terrible. Luis Paqueta is not helping with all those silly red cards that he gets. But so as of right now, if I'm being honest, who I would consider, I guess, our title challengers is Man City, obviously, and Aston Villa. As of right now. Obviously not like the full season. I feel like the full season it's probably just Man City, but as of right now it is Aston Villa. Yeah, so we just gotta hope that both West Ham against Aston Villa get a result, and then Crystal Palace against Man City they can get a result. I don't have much hope. I believe, yeah. So this one's gonna be played at Crystal Palace, Selhurst Park, and then Aston Villa. Oh yeah, okay. So they're playing. So they're playing at the West Ham Stadium. Was it the City of London Stadium? Is what it's called, I believe. London Stadium, yeah. So gotta hope for a possible result, but like I said, you can't rely on other teams to beat your title rivals. You have to do it yourself. You have to beat them, and you have to create that separation. You have to win your games, and whatever they do with their games is whatever. But if we keep winning our games, we win the league, right? So yeah, this is how this table sits as of right now. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. Let's look at our matches here. So we play Everton at Everton. Then we play Crystal Palace. I believe 2 days later. Yeah. Wow. 2 days. Jesus. Okay. Well, luckily enough, we have a week rest between this, and we play 2 days later for the Carabao Cup against Crystal Palace. I don't know about you guys, but I want to win the Carabao Cup. I want to win every single trophy available. And the first available trophy to win is the Carabao Cup. I don't want none of this, oh, the Carabao Cup is a lesser trophy. We should be going for the league. We should be going for that. No. Go and win the Carabao Cup. You win the Carabao Cup, it gives you momentum to go and win other trophies. It lifts your spirits. It lifts the fans' spirits. It lifts the players' spirits. So I want us to win the Carabao Cup. I want us to beat Crystal Palace, and I want us to be in the semis, beat whoever we play in the semis, and go on to win the whole damn thing. Let's win a trophy. It's been 5 years, almost 6 years since we won our last trophy. We should be wanting to win the Carabao Cup. That's just my opinion. So I hope we win. And then obviously we have Brighton, and then we have Aston Villa again at our home. Hopefully we can get revenge for what they did to us at theirs. And then we play Bournemouth on the 3rd of January of next year. So essentially, the last games we played this year will be Everton, Then we play Crystal Palace in the Cup. Then we play Brighton, and then we play Aston Villa on December 30th. So let's hope that we can end 2025 on a winning run. Let's hope that we can stay top of the league at the turn of the new year. That's all we can pretty much hope for. But yeah, yeah, God, I just hope it's possible. Anyway, thank you all so much for coming by, stopping by, leaving your comments, liking the video. If you guys like the content, please leave a like and subscribe. I appreciate each and every one of y'all who joined in, and those who also decided to comment and engage in a discussion. I hope each and every one of y'all have a wonderful weekend, and